With the markets entering the final month of the year, will investors start to hear the faint bells of a Santa rally, or will COVID get in the way? The markets potentially find themselves between headlines as November tumbles into December. It now appears that Donald Trump is going to allow for a less bumpy than expected, but far from smooth transition to a Joe Biden presidency. What is worrying is the incumbent president seems to have completely checked out, faithful given the out of control pandemic situation stateside. Meanwhile, in regards to vaccines, the US Food and Drug Administration aren't meeting to discuss the emergency authorization of the Pfizer BioNTech preparation until December 10th. And though the UK is set to approve the use of the vaccine in the next few days, from a market perspective, the US green light is what we're really waiting for. If the UK somehow doesn't approve its use, however, the reaction may be rather nasty. The two biggest news items then, and biggest market movers November, may have a limited presence in the first week or so of December. Will that cause investors to linger on the latest COVID-19 headlines? It's not like there isn't a lot to be concerned about. At one point last week, the States were seeing a COVID-19 death every 40 seconds. The country's monthly total in November hit 4 million, double that seen in October, and lockdowns are being extended around the world. The global number of cases is now at above 60 million. Without distractions, panic could start to creep in the markets. How the week eventually pans out will be in part determined by Friday's non-farm jobs report. The headline figure has been steadily falling month on month from that 4.8 million peak posted in June. Between September and October, the drop-off did slow down, slipping from 661,000 to 638,000. Will that hold, or is the reading set to fall under 500,000? Analysts are expected 500,000 on the nose, which would be the worst figure since the 20.5 million collapse in jobs seen back in April. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate is currently sitting at 6.9% and is set to drop slightly to 6.8%, while the average hourly earnings figure is expected to remain unchanged at 0.1%. Before that, you've got the Chicago PMI and pending home sales on Monday, the final market and ISM manufacturing PMIs on Tuesday, the AEP non-farm employment change reading on Wednesday, and the jobless claims and final market and ISM services PMIs data on Friday. The Dow Jones is going to spend the month grappling with 30,000, with the potential for a spectacular end to a nightmare year, or a last gasp tumble with some as to foreseen horror left in 2020. It'll be interesting to see how the Dow Jones does actually perform in December, given that it will sort of be dependent on whether anything can really justify it crossing that 30,000 mark. You know, it's remarkable that it hit that level anyway, but now that is such a milestone, that's such a huge figure that something significant is going to have to come along to really push it beyond that level. And that could be the emergency use authorization of the Pfizer vaccine, or it might need to be something else in the next 4 or 5 weeks.